I was 14 years old, and a guy came rushing into my journalism class on a Friday afternoon and pointed at me and said, "Hey kid, you want to cover tonight's football game?" And my first thought was, "There's a football game?" I can't say that. Um, spiders. I don't like spiders. Just, I can tell you a story about a spider. When I was in college, never mind, I'll leave that one. I can tell you a story about snakes. One of the favorite stories that I like to tell that wasn't a lot of fun at the time, but it is always a lot of fun to recount now, is about being in Pearlington, Mississippi, and pulling over to take a photograph of a beautiful backcountry road with Spanish moss hanging down, and I had this great vision of this lovely black and white image and this canopy of oak trees and the Spanish moss, and yeah, it was going to be a great photograph. So I had my car pulled over on the side of the road and had my trunk open and was shooting from my trunk. I had my camera bag in the trunk, as I do often, and looked up and saw that there were two gigantic, like really big water moccasins hanging down from the tree in over the trunk. And I did not know that snakes could climb trees or whatever it is that they do. So it was unexpected. So I look and see these two water moccasins hanging over the trunk of my car, and all I can think is, I don't want those water moccasins in my car. It's very remote out here. And so I rushed to the car, slammed the trunk, and realized that my keys were lying on top of my camera bag. So now I'm out here with my keys locked in the trunk of my car, two water moccasins hanging above the car, and then suddenly they fall right onto the trunk. And I'm looking at them, and they're looking at me. And I'm looking down the road, and I see no help in sight. And I think, I'm in a lot of trouble. This is not good. So I take out my cell phone, and I think, oh, I'm going to call roadside assistance. Yeah, I was out there for hours, just waiting for someone to come by, because part of the beauty of this road was the fact that it was very remote, and I didn't have to worry about cars or roadside litter or any of these things. You know, it was just untouched hinterland. You know, just totally pristine, untouched land, and that had attracted me at first. And once I was out there with just the snakes, that proved to not be so cool after all. Finally, a car passes, and it's the local preacher, and you know, he tries to get into my car, and over the course of the next few hours, as he calls some people, and they call some people, and they call some people, and this is the beauty of the South, was that the first person who stopped couldn't help, and so they found someone else, and it became this community-wide effort to help this poor journalist get it back into her car, and they ended up dismantling my car, taking out the back seat and climbing through the trunk in order to get the keys, you know, and you know, my back seat was on the side of the road, and yeah, this took 3 or 4 hours, and you know, typical South, they went and got some Coca-Colas, and someone went and made some fried chicken and brought it, and it was just this huge roadside party to help this poor naive. And so happy to see the inside of my car. I haven't locked my keys in my car again since then, I can honestly say. That may be the most memorable thing that has ever happened to me, honestly.